Mario Kart World, the Switch 2's essential launch title and the first Mario Kart game in over 10 years, has been out for almost 3 months now. Mixing classic Mario Kart gameplay with an expansive connected racetrack of a world, Mario Kart World has taken players off the beaten track with bigger races, surprising racers, and a whole exploration mode. Surely, this is the Mario Kart game that everyone has always wanted. Not so much, it seems. See, Mario Kart World makes some rather big changes to its formula, and with change comes dissatisfaction from the internet's loud gaming minority. Dissatisfaction that I expected to calm down after a couple of weeks, but which just hasn't. People are still vocally angry about some of the decisions made for this game in ways that, while not surprising, just bafflingly miss the point to me. Angry at what they think the game should be, rather than trying to appreciate it for what it is. And not that the billion-dollar company needs any protecting, that's not what this is. I just thought it'd be fun to look at the 3 main issues that everyone has and explain why everyone is wrong about Mario Kart World. Except me. So what are the 3 issues that people are wrong about? Number 1. The introduction of connected race courses ruins the racing experience. Number 2. The free roam section doesn't show me where every collectible is. And number 3. Diddy Kong isn't in the game. Actually, that third one isn't an incorrect issue. That guy should be in it. And while we're at it, where's Iggy Cooper? Give me back my boy! Some history. In previous Mario Kart games, races took place entirely on a separated racetrack. 3 laps and you're done. You would then move on to the next separate racetrack, 3 laps again, continue for as long as you want. When playing online, people would vote for the next track and you would also then do another 3 laps. Mario Kart World mixes it up quite a lot. Due to having this huge open world, World changes the 3-lap structure and has you spend a couple of the laps driving to the next chosen race course. Now, the race isn't just on the course itself, but turns into a Fast and Furious light street race as you drive from the course you just finished over to the new course you need to race on. Careening across the open world, weaving between cars and obstacles as you get yourself into the best position possible to ensure your victory in the course. Once you finish the open world section, however, you then typically only do 1 full lap of the course you've driven to before you then finish the course and drive off to the next one. It's the in-between races that the internet is up in arms about. No more can they just stick to 3-lap races in standard modes, they are forced into what they have stupidly decided to call intermission tracks, a name chosen specifically to downplay them as being real tracks in and of themselves. These same people will then complain about the game only containing 30 full courses compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's 48, completely missing the point that every course in the game has multiple ways of getting to and from each of the courses it's connected to, with each of these routes being unique compared to one another. So why don't people like these tracks? Personally, I think it's because they see it as getting in the way of the real hardcore Mario Kart racing that they are used to. The routes are wider, and by definition have more straightness to them than the twists and turns of a typical race. The routes are like if you took the highway levels of previous Mario Kart games, which are some of the best courses in those games for what it's worth, and made them a core part of each level's experience. They force you to play a different way to what you're used to. I see the complaints about the courses just being a straight line and thus boring, but not only is this not actually the case for most of them, but it allows for a different kind of strategy. In 3-lap courses, people learn the best spot to use specific items and essentially master those courses. Then it becomes an element of who can make use of that knowledge the best. These routes bring in a bit more of that Mario Kart randomness, as it's very unlikely anyone is going to memorize and master all of the hundreds of routes available in the game. It levels the playing field somewhat, and forces you to be a bit more coy and considerate with your items. Yes, you could use your mushroom to get a boost on a straightaway, but what if there's a corner coming up? You could then use them to cut across the rough terrain and get even more of a lead. But then what if someone uses a lightning bolt at the same time? Suddenly you're stuck in the middle of this terrain and you're actually worse off for it. With up to 24 players, this moment-to-moment routes gameplay actually becomes a bit more considered and fun than the constant frenzy that is happening on the 3-lap courses. What these routes also do is present the existing courses in completely different ways. Depending on which course you're coming from, you'll be approaching a course from a different direction each time, changing how you end up racing on that course. Maybe you'll run it backwards. Maybe you'll race on a completely different part of the course to usual. This opens up the courses in ways that a standard 3-lap race doesn't allow and lets you experience a stunning amount of variety as the time of day and weather changes in front of you as you approach a course that otherwise would have been one look forever. Your journey through the world as you get to each course is always fresh, always novel. Are there more straight lines than in quote-unquote actual race courses? Yeah, sure, I'll give you that. But you know what else had highways, straight lines and changing of time of day and weather as you moved from one scene to the next? Outrun 2 from 2006, and that game's cool as hell. And to anyone saying, I would go play Outrun 2 if I wanted to play more Outrun 2, no you wouldn't. How are you going to do that? Emulate it on the PC? No you aren't. It's in Mario Kart now, and it's cool. What upsets people the most about these route courses though is that they are on by default in online mode as well. They aren't just siphoned off to the Grand Prix, or the new Knockout Tour mode that explicitly is designed to make use of them and yet only uses 8 versions, but they are the default for playing online as well. When you play online, you pick from 3 available courses, with those courses typically being connected to the course that you just played on. You then play through the route course as I explained, but with all the other players online. Occasionally, there won't be 3 courses available to connect to the course you're on, and the game will give you the option of teleporting to a new course and doing a 3-lap course of that instead. People are furious that Nintendo took away traditional 3-lap courses and are forcing people to play the way Nintendo wants to, with no choice to play their own way. These people have responded to that by using the in-game tools to create an online lobby that anyone can join, which only allows for 3-course races. Literally using the tools Nintendo gave them to play their own way should they want. That'll show them. I will say that if a 3-lap course option comes up online, people will typically pick that over the connected courses, but I do see this as people still being resistant to any kind of change in a game and wanting the game to stay the same forever. But surely, if most people are picking the 3-lap options, then that definitively shows that they are the better choice and Nintendo are wrong, I hear you cry. And I don't know how to best get across that just because a lot of people think they want something, it doesn't mean it's the best choice for them or for anyone. Better options are possible, you just need to open yourself up to the idea of something new, something for all. This restrictive approach to new options really causes people to miss out on some of the beauty of these new options. See, when playing online, these new routes allow you as a collective to plot your way across the entire map. It's fun over an online session to be playing with the same people and to make your way from one part of the map to another, all through the votes that you as a collective have cast. It's almost like a micro Twitch plays Pokemon, where hundreds of people collectively dictated the direction of a game through the choices they made. Seeing where you started, where you came, and where you ended up adds a tiny bit of meta magic to the game that makes me feel a bit more connected to those I'm racing with. So too does the online lobby, which is no longer a tiny bit of space while you choose your next level, but instead plonks you back into the open world area where you can see the other drivers, sit and take pictures, and even... Hey. That bee just knocked my crown off. Get back here. Get back here! And even create an online racing rival, I guess. A rival that you'll see after multiple races as you spend the minutes you have in between each race trying to get revenge on them for wronging you. Pesky bee. There's a beauty and a joy to this open world racing that makes it a lot less frustrating to race across than when you were stuck racing the experts in the 3-lap courses of old. And I think if people opened themselves up to it more, then they would get a lot more out of it. You would be forgiven for missing this section of the game if you went into it without any knowledge of it. There's not a clear menu option for it on the home screen. Instead, in the bottom right is an option to press plus for free roam. Doing so takes the camera from the menu and zooms it behind your racer, already roaming around on their own, in an incredibly slick transition that shows off the power of the Switch 2 console in a way that doesn't even feel like it's showing off at all. You're then free to just roam, freely, exploring the substantial world to your heart's content. If you remember playing Mario Kart 64 and deciding to just drive off the track in Royal Raceway, seeing Peach's castle from Mario 64, this is like that but in full game form, with an absolutely incredible jukebox of over 200 songs playing in the background. The whole world feels alive with its own beating heart as you see other cars driving around, all with their own destination in mind. Toads and Yoshis walking the streets or hitchhiking the highways, and even the occasional traffic jam. It's brilliant, letting you see the tracks and the world in a whole new light, and is so clearly designed to allow you to relax in between more stressful bouts of racing and just enjoy the game and world at your own pace. There's elements of Breath of the Wild here, where at any point you can see something that may be of interest off in the distance, always being able to have one eye on a racecourse over yonder. What's particularly of interest in this world though are the micro challenges it throws at you. Like Zelda's shrines, throughout the world are little blue icons which give you a little challenge to do. These P-switches, an ode to the P-switch of more traditional Mario games, gives you varying challenges. One could ask you to jump through hoops, or collect blue coins within a time frame. Some of them even create bespoke courses to do a few laps on, with a few of these courses being old, more simple courses from previous Mario Kart games. It's a joy to discover these little P-switches as you drive around, and yet they've also caused a fair bit of dissatisfaction. See, there's no way to track where the P-switches are, or which ones you've got. So, if you're the sort of freak who wanted to know they had 100% completed every challenge in the game, it's not going to be easy for you to do so. You're forced to have to drive around to discover them for yourself, rather than being given a Ubisoft-style icon on a map to set your waypoint to. Those desperate to collect all of these and know that they've 100%ed the game, to me, feel like they're missing the point entirely. This section clearly isn't meant to be another challenge for you to conquer. It's meant to be a wind down, a distraction, a fun way of getting to know the world and seeing it in different ways. Completing the P-blocks doesn't even give you a tangible reward, all you get are stickers that you can slap on the cars. And I know you might be thinking, well, why would I do them then, if I don't get anything for it? And I would like to posit this: because it's fun. I watched a YouTuber just last week suggest that collectibles are only worth collecting if they either give you something or you can track what you have collected, and that Mario Kart has misunderstood the point of collectibles in general. And I would like to suggest that, actually, they've misunderstood the point of this game, and that's to just enjoy it. I love sticking on the free roam mode, picking a location and just driving around a bit to see what I come across. It's what I loved about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom also. I don't care if I'm not going to earn something from it because it's not real anyway. This, to me, the dissatisfaction with it, is a sign that through battle passes forcing us into a constant gaming grind and open world games becoming more of a tick box of things to do, that we have lost sight of the pure joy and creativity that comes from just playing the damned games we've got. Have our brains become so broken that the reward of playing something is more important than the joy of actually playing it in the first place? To me, the lack of tracker of the P-switches and Peach coins within this world isn't a result of a half-baked open world like some reviews have suggested, but an intentional back-to-basics approach in encouraging the player to enjoy it at their own pace without worrying about collecting absolutely everything. And I think people would be a lot warmer to this mode and the game in general if they tried to approach it on these terms rather than wishing that the map looked like this. And that's why everyone's wrong with their Mario Kart World issues. And even though obviously this is just like one opinion, if you had some of these thoughts towards Mario Kart, I hope my alternative take helps you take a different approach to a game that is intentionally different to what's come before. But whether it does or not, try to remember that at the end of the day, these games aren't meant to be about arguing on the internet about what feature is best and why taking it out has ruined your life. It's meant to be about the racing, the adventure, and knowing that wherever you end up, as long as you beat that damned bee, everything will be okay. Huh. Wait a second. Is that